Good morning, brothers and sisters. Today I just wanted to share a video with you. Hopefully listening to this video, it enlightens you, brings you awareness, and hopefully an awakening, raising your vibration. Because if everybody does come together and we're all one, the energies that we project will be assimilated into the Earth's collective consciousness, and the Earth will become the brightest star in the universe. But what the Matrix wants is to turn the Earth into a dark star penal colony, by everybody fighting and arguing, afraid of each other, fear, paranoia, trepidation, indecisiveness, uncertainty. It's just the same stuff, dehumanizing people through the integration of artificial intelligence and transhumanism. This is a globalist agenda. They think they're God, but they're not. They use many devices and mechanisms to achieve this outcome. First and foremost is always fear, lying, misinformation, disinformation campaigns, the CIA, the MK Ultra project. The CIA is the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. That's their, those are their goons. All of the three-letter agencies all belong to these families. This country's been under their ownership since, I think, the 1800s. This is not a democracy we live in. It's a constitutional republic. Democracy is an illusion. I've already mentioned this in another video. But the topic of this video, I titled it Death by Association, because whenever you possess a default setting of negativity, you instantly begin envisioning worst case scenario situations, the most horrible outcomes. You're very skeptical, cynical, bitter, doubting. So when you have this self-defeatist mentality that is attributed to this default setting of negativity, which is rife with the ego's presence, and it thrives there, and it controls your perception, your intelligence. If you see something and whenever you walk outside, or you might meet somebody and they're saying things that you're not agreeing with, your ego is going to immediately kick in and say, we don't want this. We're going to reject this, and outwardly just deny it and block it. And then you're going to apply with a liberal amount of cognitive dissonance a mechanism to destroy this thing, that whoever this individual is, their belief systems run contrary or counter to yours. So therefore, they're threatening the narrative of the establishment, and they have to be taken down, because we can't have that. So I titled this video Death by Association, because every time you see something with your negative default setting, utilizing your conditioned and controlled perception, you're going to just tear it apart. You won't find one reason why you should explore something new, and you'll come up with a million excuses why you don't have to do that, or no, I'm not going to do this. You're not even going to become curious as to why it is you feel the way you feel, you do the things you do, or who you are, what you are. You won't. You'll just be very content with the way everything is, and that's how you've been conditioned to be. Change will only come when an individual recognizes a necessity within themselves for change. So in other words, most of these people, they don't see anything wrong with them. They're perfectly fine with everything exactly just the way it is. Most of these grown men sit on the couch, play violent video games for 18 hours, and they absolutely love that. They watch boxing matches, people bludgeoning each other to death, MMA, all this gore and garbage, these phony wrestling shows. But they won't hug their wife or their girlfriend, because affection is shunned and cruelty is revered, and that's exactly how they're conditioned to be. So the title of this video is Death by Association, simply because that when you ever see something of a positive nature, you don't recognize it, so you outwardly reject it. So you immediately bury it. You associate positivity with weakness, vulnerability, susceptibility, being a punk, being a loser. Men don't cry, men don't hug, men don't show affection. You know what I mean? We shave with blowtorches. We're men. It's all a bunch of garbage, man. It's all a bunch of garbage. It's how they dehumanize you. You were given feelings and emotions for a reason, not to suppress them, but to use them. You were given tears for a reason. They're your greatest virtue, to allow them to flow, because within each tear, whether it's joy or sorrow, contains an infinite ocean of wisdom. The difference between a tear of joy and a tear of sorrow is a tear of joy is weightless. It flies. A tear of sorrow is heavy like lead. It drops to the ground and creates a crater. But still, they're of equal value in the eyes of the universe, because they have information in them. Without your tears of sorrow, you don't have any type of knowledge or database to fall back on, because from your most horrible wounds comes your greatest wisdom. And it's pain that is the object lesson of this life. That's what teaches us and allows us to grow, because all seeds are planted in the soil, and it's dark until they burst through the soil and reach for the unlimited skies of their never-ending happiness. And that's the way it works. So just wanted to bring to your attention that if you find that you're looking at something or someone, or you hear somebody's being very successful, or this new idea, or you might watch a video on YouTube about making money or starting your own home-based business, don't be a skeptic. Don't be a cynic. Don't be a doubter. Don't be negative. Don't have this self-defeatist mentality, because they just want to keep you pigeonholed, locked in your comfort zone, and you're not going to go anywhere. That's why I say death by association, because you're associating this thing with something that's not going to bring you anything. You've already buried it. You've buried it before it even had a chance to be born. And you're programmed to do that, because that's how they keep you locked in a never-ending cyclical, self-destructive pattern of going nowhere. And that's their prime directive. So don't fall for it. And everything that you read on the news or see on the news or hear on social media, it's all programmed by these families. There's something like 10 families that run the country. The Rockefellers, Rothschilds, there's a few of them. They're all pure demonic. These are not human beings. Not by any stretch of anyone's imagination. But that's another video. And what's going on over in the Ukraine, that's not even the truth of what you're being told. Trust me. You're not even being told the truth. So it is what it is. But have an amazing day today. And I just want to leave you with this one thing. That if you come across something that's different, or you're not familiar with, or it excites you, or you feel that you're strangely drawn to it, explore it, because your curiosity that is peaking for a reason. It's the universe's way of getting you to say, hey, I gave you these amazing talents, abilities, gifts, and intelligence for a reason, because you're supposed to connect with this thing I'm subtly nudging you towards, so you can see if you're really good at it. And if you are, then you share your magic, which is your talents and your abilities. Failure to utilize your talents and abilities is the greatest tragedy, because then you deny the world your beautiful magic. Could you imagine for a minute if every musical group decided to say, hey, you know what? I don't want to share my gifts. We're just going to play in our garage and keep it to ourselves. And there would be no music in the world. Or if the artists, painters, designers, people who build buildings, whatever, authors, writers, decided, you know what? I'm not going to write this book. I'm just going to keep these notes to myself on my laptop. Could you imagine? There would be no bookstores, no music, no nothing. There would be no art, no paintings, if everybody decided to keep their talents to themselves. That's what I'm saying. Death by association. It has to be life by association. They always tell you the fear of God. That's all garbage. The Bible is a book of lies. It was penned by ancient thieves and pedophiles and liars. And so is the Torah and the Quran and all that religious ideology nonsense. That's how they control you. From Genesis to Revelations, it's just a book of control. Back then, that was their technology. Now they use cell phones and the internet. It's the same paradigm. Fear, manipulation, psychological warfare waged against the human imagination. You name it. It hasn't changed, because people don't catch on. And the people that do catch on, they're assassinated. That's how the system works. But now they know that their time is done, because they've been in control of the system too long, and the universe is like, enough is enough. But anyway, change that death by association that you have into life by association. Give something a chance. Just give it a chance. Try something new. Try something different. Explore this world. Get curious. Allow your curiosity to take you where it may, and then you'll find out, hey, I really like this. And then you get really good at it, and then you start sharing these gifts. You might even start selling your products, your items, your paintings, or whatever, and you'll make this world a happier place, and you'll raise the elevation and the vibration, and people will become lighter and faster and stronger and wiser, and then this earth will become the brightest star in the universe, not the darkest. Because as I've said before, your mind is comprised of two hemispheres, divine consciousness and demonic unconsciousness, heaven and hell. We are equal portions of both tantamount. Indeed, without argument. But where do you plant the roots of your soul? Only in the darkness or only in the light? You've got to blend the two, and that's where your reality comes from. One cannot exist without the other. No matter how hard you try to delude yourself into believing such, it's not even close to being the truth. When somebody cuts you off in traffic, you get angry. If somebody insults you, you get hurt, you get mad. It's there for a reason. Don't deny it. Don't block it. Don't try to pretend it doesn't exist. Don't play pretend games with yourself. And you can't lie to God, so don't even try to lie to yourself. It's not a good place to be, because then you're fitting into the false light, false narrative, false identity, the disingenuous spiritualist. And that's not ever a good thing. Trust me. Live in truth. My guardian sent me a quote a long time ago. If the truth hurts, you're living a lie. So if the truth doesn't hurt, then you're living the truth. And that's always a good place to be. Namaste.